I love to bring today three artifacts that are very special to me. They are from my three very special moments in my life. One is this vest. It was knit by my grandmother about 30 years ago, and she was getting blind by then. She used to do beautiful stuff, and for kids, and besides sweaters and toques and gloves and socks for babies. She learned to do that in World War II when she was in France with my mother, and she had to survive. So that's the way that she survived. I'm very proud to have this piece from her. It's the only thing I have, and this is a little treasure that reminds me my grandma. The other piece I would like to show is a piece of pottery that my mother brought from Venezuela. It's a lady selling arepas. That is the corn flour pocket. That's very traditional for us. That reminds me not only my mother, but also reminds me my land, my homeland. The typical lady selling arepas or empanadas that is so important for us. This little lady represents what Venezuela is. It's about people, it's about traditions. It's very special for me because I was brought from my mother a long time ago. It's in a special place in my house. So I love to share this with you today. The third object is this hammock. My father's mother gave it to me a long time ago. This hammock is probably older than myself, so it's over 55 years ago, and I took 3. This hammock was made for a Prince Guajiro from La Guajira in the north of Venezuela. It's a very fine work. It's a treasure because even in Venezuela I never saw something like this. It's handmade. I'm very proud to have this in my little collection. So I hope you guys enjoyed all these artifacts, and thank you for letting me show my little treasures.
My name is Mario Alberto Pareja. I was born in Barranquilla, Colombia. We came to Canada back in February of 1990. In our hometown, Barranquilla, I could say that we were the first group of professionals deciding to leave Colombia, going through the Canadian Embassy, getting the residence. Normally, a lot of people leave as tourists and stay, and then they work their way through the system. We didn't. It was a big gossip in the whole city because I had my business there. My wife, a medical doctor, and she was working with her father in her lab, X-ray lab. My brother-in-laws, both of them were working in bank, and their wives were working as well. So it was a big, big issue when we announced we're leaving. We kept it quiet for 3 years. Thursdays night was the meeting to arrange all the paperwork with the Canadian Embassy. I went to the Canadian Embassy, knocked the door, said I want to leave to Canada, blah, blah, blah. So it was a huge process, very long. But when we came with a residence visa already. It was so strange that all 3 families, when we started coming from June, December, and February, we were stopped in the airport. They would not allow us to get in the plane because we had to go through the States. We only had a one-way ticket, so that was unheard of. Thank goodness my wife's uncle at that time was the general manager for Avianca in Barranquilla. So a phone call to him. He said, yeah, they're legal. They can leave. They don't need a return ticket. So that's how big the issue was. Okay, the first item is a bus. It's called a Chiva. You might know, might not. Barranquilla, it's a very hot weather, 27, 30 degrees. 100% humidity year-round. So this used to be the buses in those days where air conditioning wasn't applicable. So it was just a roof, the walls, and that's it. No air condition, no nothing. And in the small towns, in the pueblos they take everything, the fruits, the chickens, the pork, they put everything on the roof. So this is a very traditional, used to be the buses of the old days. The same thing with this one in Cartagena. It's the little bus, but as you can see, it's got the name Cartagena, which is very important for our family. It's one of the most recognizable names of a city in Colombia. And as you know, Colombia is very important in coffee growing. So this is a machete, a small version. They use this to harvest all the coffee. That's their main tool, to cut the branches, to go through the rainforest and everything. Every campesino, we call campesino, has a machete in Colombia. That's a must. That's like the cowboys having a Colt 45. If you go to Cartagena, you know how you buy a coconut here and they have to drill to get the hole out and everything. You'll see these guys with a machete peeling the whole stuff outside and then poking a hole with the machete. You try to do that, you'll cut your hand. They're experts with a machete. You need a drill here to get the water out of a coconut and a hammer. This guy does it with a machete.
My name is Margarete Tolksdorf. I am from Brazil, São Paulo, Assis, while I was in my end of 29 years old, 30s. I came to Canada invited by my brother-in-law and my sister because she got married to a person that is a medical doctor in New Brunswick, Moncton. I decided that it would be very nice because I like very much Canada. It's a country that has lots of peaceful people. You have to take a time to adjust to a completely different nation of people. I met my husband 41 years ago in Pointe-Sapin, New Brunswick, in a German company called ASB. And there is where I met Erkki Korpiakko. From there on, we had a kind of a friendship. Then later on, we ended up getting married.
Yeah, my name is Erkki Korpiakko in a real Finnish way. I came to Canada when I was a young. I graduated already from a university in Helsinki, Finland. I'm from Finland, and I got the World University Service scholarship to come to Canada. So I arrived in Hamilton, Ontario, McMaster University, and I was going to go back to Finland, so I'm kind of accidental immigrant here because my intentions were not to stay here. The immigration guy, when I was renewing my student visa, insisted that I become landed immigrant, and I said, no. So he just said, yeah, okay, sign this paper. So I signed it, and when I looked at it, I was landed immigrant because those days they needed people from overseas for studies and education or whatever. I did not bring anything special because I didn't have anything special to bring with me. In any case, Finland is so similar to Canada, so whatever I would bring, you probably have it anyways.
I am very, very attached to all the dishes that came from my mother and from my father. In other words, I am very attached because it was a very special day for my parents, 25 years. This set is a coffee set, which includes the teacup, coffee cup, and the espresso cup, cafezinho cup, okay? I brought the saucer and the cup, and this is what is supposed to be the cake when it's served in the afternoon for people. There is the coffee, again, for dessert, and here is for the cafezinho in the afternoon. This was for the 25 years old wedding between my father and my mother, and he was very proud when he gave this set to my mother. The complete set has over 60 pieces, and this is a set that can set 12 people at the same time. This is a soup plate, this is a dinner plate, and this is a dessert plate. Here is a serving dish, and again, serving dish too. And this, you can serve rice or beans, whatever. And this here is more for veggies, just an idea, because the pieces are much, much bigger. This should be the soup plate. This is the dinner plate. And this one here is a dessert plate, cake or dessert.
My name is Silvana Castellanos. I am from Caracas, Venezuela. I moved to Canada on May 13th, 2020. I live in Port Hope, Ontario. I am 26 years old. I went to law school back home, and while due to the situation that a lot of people know about going on in Venezuela, a couple years ago I took the decision to leave my country. The doors that basically presented themselves and opened for me were the doors of Canada. So I had that honor and that privilege of being able to immigrate to a place where I was legally allowed to be there. A lot of people from my country did not get that chance. The cultural shock has not been as strong as I thought it would be. I think that when you move between Western societies, it's not as bad. A lot of things are very similar. Venezuela has a lot of US influence. Canada has a lot of US influence as well. So a lot of things are kind of similar. I brought this tiny purse. It's a small purse. It's made out of leather. It has my initials. It has this little design flowery thing. then has this long thing to put it over you, which is very comfortable. It's very nice. I really like it. I brought it because I'm not very attached to material belongings, so it was actually pretty hard for me to bring, a tangible thing here. It's funny because the 3 parts of that gift are Venezuelan, but none of those people are in Venezuela anymore. So this purse was made by my uncle Roberto. He's in Ecuador now. It was gifted to me by my father, who's in Ecuador now, and well, I as the receiver of the present, I'm no longer in Venezuela either. So I thought it was interesting that it's something like very personal, but all the parties involved are no longer there. And these are my father's initials actually, because his name is Silvio and we have the same last name, so also a pretty cool thing about it. Since this exhibition was about like Hispanic heritage, I think what I brought from Latin America is like my culture, my love, my music, like that type of thing, some feelings, the way I move my hands is Hispanic. So material belongings, I don't know, I've never had that type of attachment. It was a gift. It's very personal. It's actually personalized. It has my initials. It's like a family thing because, my uncle made it, then my dad gave it to me. It's more about the family and the parties involved than the actual thing, because obviously you can find a small purse in any store if you want to. But this one is like, stands out for me because it was made and gifted to me by people I love. So, that's why it's special.
My name is Maria del Montserrat Alvarado Navarro. I came from Mexico about 30 years ago. I do photography right now. That is my trade and what I like to do. I have got 5 kids, but 3 are not mine. We have a blended family. I came to Canada and I started working in the Chamber of Commerce both in Hastings and in Campbellford. Then I met Harry, my partner for life. And he's the owner of Blades of Glory. He likes to do knights in armor. I was helping him doing that. He hired photographers to take pictures of the knights. But when they brought the pictures back, he did not like what they looked like. So I said to him, well, I can take the pictures if you want me. And then he said, sure. So I took pictures and he loved them. And I used to paint before when I was in Mexico. And even when I came to Canada, I was selling my paintings. All of a sudden, I realized that I really like painting with light now. So I became a photographer and I never looked back. The one artifact that I brought for you guys today is something that I can't grab. So I brought a picture. It's a hummingbird. It is a tiny, tiny little bird. Its wings flap like 90 times per second. So these birds are incredibly tiny and powerful. It's the only bird that can hover and also fly backwards. The reason why I brought a hummingbird is because I like those birds and they're very difficult to catch. When I came to Canada, I didn't realize that there were hummingbirds in this country. So I set up a feeder, but I was never able to capture one. My photography, I do a lot of macros. So I like to go in when it's morning dew and take an image of a reflection inside of a dewdrop. The hummingbird is a challenging bird to capture. You have to have a good timing. There's a lot of things that go on with capturing a bird with photography. This year, I was able to catch one. I was inside my house. It just showed up and I was looking out the window at the moment. So I had to grab the camera and walk outside towards where it was, and it was still hovering. So I ended up standing very, very close to it. It was really neat because I kind of waited for it. And then all of a sudden, all the elements come together and there it is. So it was a really one-time thing and I was able to capture it, after so many years of wanting to have this particular thing. So I found that very significant that I saw it in Mexico and I wanted to capture one in Mexico. And now I'm in Canada and I get to see that hummingbird. With photography, you have to be very patient, and I've learned to be patient through time. It would be incredible to capture a hummingbird in a dewdrop. Will it happen? I don't know.
My name is Fabian. She's my wife, Shannon. And these are our kids. Say your name.
Felipe. Hi, I'm Lucas.
When Emilio asked us to bring something significant for us, I thought to bring this shirt because Shannon gave this shirt to me before we got married, right? Mm-hmm. We have a friend, she has this company and they do everything painted by hand. I am very, how do you say that? Like I really, really love my city. This shirt is basically the story of our relationship. So thanks to this shirt, I decided, we're like, should we get married? We got married basically because we needed the visa, right? They didn't give me the visa to come visit, so we said, okay, let's get married for the visa. And we got married. So Shannon asked our friend to make this shirt. The thing that I love the most about this shirt is this bird. It's called the picho fue, and it's a bird that makes like a wee, wee, wee. This is like where we met. The first night we met, we drank a lot of tequila, which is not very Colombian drink. This is Cali. And there's like very representative things about Cali, like there's a big hill or like a mountain.
Yeah.
It's called Cerro de las Tres Cruces. Like there's 3 crosses. Everything is there, and this is Shannon like message about us. So I think we're gonna keep this shirt forever and ever, and so the kids can see where her dad and her mom met and where I was born.
I think it's a good reminder of some of the important places from our time in Colombia together as a couple. And when I had the shirt made, everything that our friend drew on the shirt were important places for our relationship as we were dating before we got married. Even the writing that's on it tells sort of the history of our relationship. Talk about the important places, how we met. It's a good reminder to us of our time spent in Colombia. That was also the creation of the beginnings of our relationship into our marriage.
And the family. And Lucas was born here in Cali.
Colombia. So yeah, we just think this shirt is such a good reminder to us about our 6 years that we lived together in Colombia before we came to Canada. And it's a wonderful reminder of all the things in Cali that we love. It'll definitely be kept for generations, I think, as a reminder of sort of the start of our life together in Colombia and what came from it in Canada.
I'll definitely keep this as a family heirloom. Definitely.
Okay, so I chose to bring my sombrero volteado, which is a very Colombian hat, and as you can see, it's got holes because we've had it for a long time. This is really sort of important to me because I'm not Colombian, but I feel like Colombia's part of my home now. It's just such a great representation. When I was teaching in Colombia, that's how I ended up there. I did a ton of traveling to different parts of Colombia. This hat came with me on all of my adventures in all the parts of Colombia, the Amazon, up in Barranquilla for the feria in Cali, all these different memories that I have in Colombia. Whenever I wear it, even here in Canada, it's such a great reminder of all these different experiences that I had during my time, and just the fact that it was made by a Colombian. It brings with me tons of our memories together. I feel like it's also the continuation. I wear it here all the time, so like
we don't have memories with the kids.
But lots of our family adventures now in Canada, this hat comes along, and that creation of memories from Colombia continues sort of here in Canada.
I'm not sure how me and Felipe are going to share the shirt. We'll probably have to pass it along every now and then, like every month. We'll just
take turns.
Just like, here, take the shirt.
Do you have a memory, like Lucas has been to Colombia a few times and was born there. Is there something that's really like significant to you about that's really Colombian that you love?
Probably this one just, it's been stuck in my memory. The shower. The freezing.
No hot water.
Yeah, no hot water. No. That's like that and food. The 2 things.
Okay.
Oh, some bananas. Now I'm hungry.
Hello, my name is Ixchel Suarez. I come from Mexico and I moved to Canada 16 years ago. One object that I want to share with you today in this journey of moving into another country is a textile piece. Actually, there's 2. One is this beautiful blouse that it's from the region of Oaxaca, and everybody who knows Frida Kahlo will be knowing these beautiful dresses, traditional from the Isthmus of Tehuantepec in Oaxaca. They are a mixture of a colonial blend and the Aboriginal Mexican traditional embroidery. What I like about this piece is that it was given to me by my aunt, a dear aunt from Mexico, who had a collection of dresses. She also gave me this one, and she passed away in January. So these dresses bring me back to my country, the colors, especially when it's winter. I like to refer to these beautiful blouses when it's winter in Canada, and to share these with my friends that I have met in Canada. I want to share the skirts because this is the most iconic piece that everybody knows from Frida Kahlo, that she would wear these skirts. It's a part of the dress, and it's a traditional dress, like I said, from Oaxaca. And just to finish, I would like to share this other garment. This is very old, and this is from the southern part of Chiapas, from Mexico. It's embroidery, and the skirt is just like beautiful. And I love this dress not only because the make and the color and everything, this skirt is really beautiful, but because this dress belonged to my grandmother. And I saw her dancing with this dress when we did a cruise, when I turned 15, you know, the quinceañera. So for me, brings me back to my childhood, when I was younger, when my grandparents were alive and I had the opportunity to travel with them. So this is all that I wanted to share with you. Like I said, I'm from Mexico and I'm very proud of my origins, and I'm happy to be in Canada sharing all of these stories with all of you. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Carla Gonzalez Casanova and I am from Caracas, Venezuela. I'm very happy to be part of this virtual exhibit, and I'm choosing to show you two of my favorites, which is to my left I have the women in the water, and to my right I have also an ocean scene. And why I picked this related to my country is because I remember the crashing of the waves, growing up by the sea, playing by the beach with my cousins, and all these great memories. And the women, because they were the ones comforting us all the time in Venezuela. Also the beauty and the friendliness and the smiles. So thank you so much again for making me part of this exhibit, and wishing you all the best. See you soon.
Hola amigos del Northumberland Hispanic Cultural Club. Mi nombre es César Morris, artista de Lima, Perú. Ante todo quiero agradecerles la oportunidad por invitarme a participar de su tercera exhibición anual. En esta ocasión, la exhibición Viajes, Vínculos y Pertenencias Familiares. Les voy a presentar una obra que pinté el año 2016. Es una réplica de un cuadro pintado por mi padre a principios de los años 80. Mi padre era un pintor aficionado. Él lo que hacía era pintar ciudades que salían de su imaginación y tenían elementos recurrentes como calles empedradas, casitas con muchas ventanas, techos, cúpulas y otros elementos que pueden ver reflejados en la obra. Esta obra evoca mucho los recuerdos de mi niñez, cuando vivía en mi casa en Lima, Perú, cuando mi papá vivía y tenía la oportunidad de verlo pintar, y fue una de las razones que me motivó a seguir una carrera como artista. Una anécdota que les puedo contar con este cuadro es que en el año 2006 y 2007 tuve la ocasión de visitar Tallinn, la capital de Estonia, una de las ciudades que para mí es una de las más hermosas que he visitado. Cuando caminaba por sus calles y sus plazas, inmediatamente evocaban los cuadros de mi papá, como que hubo una conexión inmediata, y me pareció mágico porque mi padre nunca estuvo por allá, pero sin embargo era como estar presente en uno de los cuadros de mi padre, y fue una de las cosas que realmente me impactó. Bueno, espero que les haya gustado esta presentación. Quiero agradecer a Emilio Ojeda, director de eventos. Gracias por la confianza y espero que tengan muchos éxitos con la exhibición virtual de este año. Un saludo y cariños de César Morris. Gracias nuevamente.
Bye.